Hi, my name is Christian, and I am one of the student event staff members of Chico State's Town Hall meeting. Thank you for taking your time out to record this interview with us. We are excited to spend a few minutes talking and learning about your experience with organizing a public demonstration and protest. To get us started, will you please tell us your name, occupation, a bit about your experience with public activism?
My name is Sandra Scholten, and I am a staff member in the Department of Biological Sciences office. Before my transition to Chico State staff, I worked for years in nonprofit management, most recently I was the client services manager at Planned Parenthood in Chico. And as far as my activism, as a college student, I did, some very basic stuff way back in the day when the president lived in the president's mansion, right next to Holt Hall. And the president of the university was a retired CIA agent. We did a number of different protests right in front of his house in regard to, I don't even know what, but that was back in the day where, you were a part of a club and your club started doing things and you told two friends. I put away my, most of my activism as after college and raising my family, and I think after the election in 2016, there were a lot of reasons that I decided that it was time for me to get up and show up and use my voice. And I became a member of a local activist group called Mobilize Chico. And they were focused on direct actions at the local level. And they decided to have some different focus areas. And for me, with my experience with Planned Parenthood, I joined a group and we created an activist group focused on women's reproductive health care. And still now, after 4 years, we're still going strong. We do a lot of actions where we focus on some of the hypocrisy of the fake pregnancy crisis clinics in town that entice young people with free pregnancy tests. And so we've really worked around educating the community about the fact that those are not medical services there at all, and that they only offer a urine pregnancy test that you could get at the dollar store without any shame or guilt. So we've done a lot of just general work around women's health care, and then broadly, as other events have come up, I've worked with Mobilize to organize demonstrations and protests locally.
Thank you. Thank you for responding to that question so well. Next question will be, what can you tell us about organizing a public demonstration / protest? And how committed are you to the overall efficiency of this action?
Well, for me, it feels like at least I'm screaming publicly when I can organize something. It is a place to put my energy. And I found that it's very easy using social media platforms to put together, sometimes it's only 10 people and other times it's 150 people. Just by creating an event and sharing it through your social media platforms, if you are a member of a group that might have similar ideals that you might be able to share your event through, and have other people share the details of the event, it's really easy because people are looking for a place to put their emotions. And doing a protest or a demonstration can be a very simple way to show the community that your interest is not just in a silo, that there are a lot of people that share your same emotions, and it helps elevate the passion that people feel to taking actions to make changes in your direction.
Thank you, thank you. So what are some tips you can share about successfully using this action? Can you share any success stories you've had using this action as well?
Yeah, well, for me, I'm more of a spontaneous person. So I like to do things spontaneously, or immediately when the event is happening, while there's a lot of emotion around it. When I've pre-planned things with a lot of time ahead, there seems to be a little less emotion. But so, for example, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the Supreme Court Justice that recently died, I knew a lot of people that were very emotional about that. I was emotional about that. I know that with the current administration, they were definitely and are replacing the justice with somebody that will be opposed to almost all of my ideals. And so I wanted to celebrate Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but also mobilize some people to do some action, so they start reaching out to the broader community and to the rest of the people that are in their networks. So I put together a quick social media event. I shared it to groups, and I think she died on a Thursday night, and I had people show up. It was over 130 people show up to Chico City Plaza Saturday evening. So we didn't have to make any special preparations. There were a few of us that brought a few things. We brought a megaphone and some of our own signs to put up in the plaza, and we had speakers and people just shared, and it was a great place for people to share their emotions and come together.
Yes, yes, indeed. Thank you for sharing that as well. As you know, as we were talking prior to our interview, or to going through this interview, we talked about, the virtual world and how things have changed since we are going more towards that virtual thing. So, like, in what ways of using this action has changed as the result of going into more digital aspect in life?
Well, certainly when you're talking about gathering people for any reason, you do have to take precautions. So for us, we had a megaphone at our protest, and we encouraged everybody to wear masks, and I think for the most part they did, but we brought along an extra supply of disposable masks. With the megaphone, because we were passing that around, we had sanitizers that we would sanitize between passing it to different people. So we took precautions. We encouraged folks to keep their distance. So the virtual world is greatly impacting the potential to demonstrate in person. But the good news is that they're finding that most people that are gathering for many of at least the liberal causes, the folks are showing up in masks, and they are not finding any increases in transmissions of COVID-19.
Thank you. Glad to hear that. Glad y'all giving out supplies and stuff. Is there anything else would you like to share with us?
Right now, while you're in school, I think sometimes people don't feel empowered. I know I didn't feel like I had very much power, but what I can say to you now that I'm on the other side, you have all the ability to make a difference. You just make your space at the table, because activist groups want you there. We desperately need young student leaders. I need young student leaders in my group. I'm fighting for reproductive health care that I don't need anymore. I need young people that want these services, that are passionate about the things that are affecting their own bodies. You know, we already have one foot out the door. You guys are just coming in. Show up. We need you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for this. Thank you for the interview, Miss Sandra.
Yeah,
Thank you.
of course.
That was beautiful.